Hello board gamers, and today I'm going to look at Dune Imperium 1 out of 10 ratings. Uh, if you haven't checked out my top 10 solo board games of all time, this is on that list, and it's one of my all-time favorites game. Even as a solo, and even better with other people. The solo mode is still an excellent job, and the game itself, it's an excellent game in my opinion. It would be the game I might show to somebody who is kind of new to board games. I know it's a little bit complex and like a medium heavy board game, but it has all those aspects. It has a worker placement, it has a deck building, and if somebody can manage this game, they probably understand a lot of other board games as well after that. And this is, in my opinion, a great gateway game to somebody who has played something like maybe Carcassonne or Catan, but haven't played any other heavier games or modern games. So this is, in my opinion, an excellent game for that, and also an excellent game to start your solo board game experience. It is so much fun. So let's have a look what people are saying that don't like this game and are giving it 1 out of 10 rating. So let's have a look what they say. So, boring. Well, that doesn't explain a lot. How is it boring? Um, I find it very, very fascinating every time because you are playing to get to the 10 points, and it usually is really tight race. Like most people will have something like 7 or 8 points, and somebody's jumping with 9 points, and you never know who is going to win, who got what kind of agendas in their hand, or maybe somebody's going to buy Spice Full Flow and win one combat and shoot to 11 points. It's always really, really close and tight game, so it's not boring at all for me. Let's see. So meh, deck builder, combat race for points with Dune teaming. Massively overhyped. I can't believe its ratings. A subpar worker placement mechanic plus bad deck builder and swingy combat dominated by Hideo's random intrigue cards and 3 hour to play. Flush the tanks at will risk over this nonsense. This is not top 100 board game by any stretch. Random market flop. Combat is by far the best way to get VP. Well, you kinda have to do some combat. Yeah, I agree with that. Of course, you can move on the alliance tracks and stuff like that, but it's really hard to get 10 points if you don't win any combats. But that's kind of point of the game, right? It's a combat game in one way. Pointlessness of Solari at the end. Yeah, it's only tiebreaker. Yeah. Three options to actually deck build. Well, I don't agree with that. There is a deck building, and once you played the game enough, you understand what cards are good at what situation with which leader. There is a lot of deck building, in my opinion. Swingy intrigue cards. Yeah, sometimes they could be a little swingy, I agree. But that doesn't break the game by any means. Is it actually over 3 hours? Because I've played this with 3 people and I teach the game at the same time. It took maybe 3 hours. But once you've learned the rules and it's not your first game with new players, I've played this also on Xbox digital version. So that took something like a little bit like over an hour. It should not be 3 hours unless you are playing with new people. Yeah. Deck building is dull, the resource conversion is dull, the worker placement is worker placement, the bidding battles could be more exciting. It's just a mishmash of stuff. Well, at least the score usually stops around a dozen points. Again, deck building. I don't get it. Yeah, you don't build a lot in one game because the game will end before you can build like a 10 cards to your deck. But all the choices you make early on, especially, are so important. Some cards are so powerful. You really try to fight to get those cards in your deck. So there is lots of deck building, in my opinion. It's not a lot of cards. Overrated 2 look based, easy to teach and play, not that long. Now this is completely opposite to the other guy saying it's 3 hours or more. Yeah. Um, Luck based, I don't agree. There's a lot of strategy where you're going to place your first worker and where you're going to place it when you are not the starting player. And there's a lot of stuff that's not luck based. Mm, Quality issues. Oh, what are those? I don't get it. I haven't seen those. Mm, and the release of basically the same game again with like variation is also the. I think this guy is talking about Uprising, or what does this mean? I don't get it. Um, I played this game well over 20 times in total. I played both offline and online. I feel this game is best played online on Steam. Yeah, I can agree with that. If you want to kind of enjoy the game without doing all the stuff by yourself, like setting up the game and stuff like that. However, the game has a lot of problems. I don't think the expansion solves these problems. Well, Rise of the X is amazing expansion. I would even say it's a mandatory. You get that. It adds so much to the game, and it also fixes part of the main board. I would say maybe an issue, but I don't know if that's the right word. But the Rise of the X improves the main board. Uh, Also, if you play this game over 20 times, I would say that if some game is, in my opinion, 1 out of 10, I would not play it 20 times. I would stop after third time, I think. One of my online games, I was able to win by drawing the exact 3 integrals I needed to win in the last round. At that point, I don't really feel like I won, but I just end up getting lucky. To me, this is a huge problem with the game. Mm, I rarely seen the luck being that much of a factor. You can get lucky by having the right amount of buying power when really strong card becomes available, or you can get unlucky by having the opposite happening to you. And some of these cards are able to turn the game upside down on their own. While it is true that you don't need good cards to win the game, you do need some decent cards. In addition to your starting cards to be able to compete properly. And if nothing good becomes available to you, then you are most likely going to be screwed. I guess so. In some games, maybe. But usually there are several good cards in the market. Player skill does matter. Well, yeah, indeed. If you have even one bad player on your table, then that may result in a runaway leader on its own. Yeah, of course, if you are an expert in this game and you are playing with new players, you will dominate. Yeah, for sure. Dune Imperium is at its best when each player knows what to do and when to do. Yeah, of course, like in almost any game. This means that if a single player is obviously about the right course of action, then they won't counter somebody when they could have or should have. Yeah, this is an issue with any board game or any game in general, of course. Mm, Again, the luck. To me, Dune Imperium is a game that frustrated the hell out of me. I like the idea of it, but I dislike the randomness of it, and given how much time we have to spend upon this world, I'd rather spend my time elsewhere. Okay? I don't like worker placement, and this is the worst worker placement game ever. Well, there must be games that are more worse than this. That can't be true. Um, Very run-of-the-mill worker placement game with more rules and less strategy. Outcome heavily quad-railed and based on turn order. Team does not come true at all. Uh, I feel there's a lot of team. Mm, I don't think there is too many rules, and there is definitely a strategy behind this. There is a lot of that. Um, okay, Dune Imperium. Oh, I really wanted to like this game. I enjoyed the Dune IP, so I had to really work hard to separate my bias scenes, of course. Based on the theme alone, I would want to like it. Initially, I did like it, however, I couldn't ignore its glaring flaws. Okay. Oh, this is a long post. Let's see. Have troops available. Try your hand at the conflict and gain an influence point. Okay. Mm. Well, this is very streamlined. Of course, if you have too much persuasion, you most likely want to buy Spice May Flow, or Must Flow, I think the card name is, because you get one VP, right? And in the end, you are going to want to get 10 VP first to win the game. So, of course, you want to buy the card that gives you one victory point. Uh, well, you won't always play the diplomacy cards. There are some situations where you need to do something else, like you need spice or all the good diplomacy places are already taken and you want to do something like uh, move troops to the battle or something like that. Mm. Again, the intrigue deck seems like most people that gave 1 out of 10 don't like the intrigue deck. That's strange because the game would be much more boring without that, I think. Mm. Okay, yeah, I get this. There's one space where you can, with 6 spies, spam like a million troops to the battle. Uh, but in my games, that hasn't been the only way to play at all. It may seem like the perfect play, but the game can go all the different paths, and that's not the case in every game, at least in my opinion. Graphic design is lazy. I think it's okay. It looks like a Dune. It feels like a Dune. I'm not huge Dune IP fan, but to me it's okay. The game is light on player interaction. The combat is uninteresting. Hmm. Well, I feel like the combat is player interaction, and you are each round competing who is going to win the next conflict, who is going to get the bonuses, who gets first to what worker placement slots. I feel like there's pretty much player interaction actually. €1. Yeah. Again, boring, dull, waste of time. Boring seems to be the main issue. But how is it boring? I want to know that exactly. How is it boring? The luck mechanism, lack of player interaction. What does the boring mean when people say boring, boring, boring? Um, does it come with enough sleeves to play? Well, my game didn't have any sleeves. I had to buy my own sleeves. So there you have it. The worst game ever. It is boring and random. I don't recommend playing it. Well, there are many games that are the worst game before this. Again, the boring, random. These seem to be the main issues. It's boring and random, I guess. Yeah. So abstract is it has absolutely no connection to its theme at all. Can't comment on that because I'm again not huge Dune IP fan. I'm more like a Star Wars guy, but I guess Dune is fine. I don't mind it. It's interesting. I just haven't mm, deep dive into it. I haven't read any books. I haven't seen the movies. Only pieces and parts from here and there. There's the new Dune TV series. Haven't seen any episode. I have to admit that. Um, Nice design, worker placement with deck builder in Dune universe team. Kinda 1 to 2 hours game long. Yeah, I would say that's about right. Bad deck building part, unbalanced cards, too much time for your game. Again, the deck building issue. Well, I think that more you play this game, more you get the deck building, and it's not at all boring. But I understand that. I understand. Hmm. Again, the luck. I haven't seen any game win with luck, but I don't know. Okay. Again, boring, but no explanation. How? Why? What does it mean? I don't know what this means. Cash grab warning, try Eurogame with Dune related illustrations. It's not cash grab, it's, it's a masterpiece in my opinion. But yeah, there were all the 1 out of 10 ratings. If you know what the boring means in these comments, let me know. Leave a comment below. And do you feel like the game is luck based and the deck building is bad at this game? I want to know your comments because I'm disagreeing on that. I feel the deck building is good and the game is not boring at all. There are conflicts each round. There's a lot of things happening. It's really interesting game in my opinion. And the luck, yeah, I get a little luck with the intrigue cards. Sometimes they are just useless. Sometimes they are amazing. I get that, but it's not that luck based at all. So leave comment below and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.